Hello.
Hello.
Are we good?
Yeah,
I think so.
sure.
So hi everyone and welcome. This is a Crusader stream. I am Erica and this is our artist Kat.
Hello.
And we're broadcasting to you live from our studio in Victoria, BC, which is like all cold and gray this morning, but not raining quite yet.
Yeah.
Although it was really windy. It was annoyingly windy on the walk home. Before... Hi, Dylan.
Thanks, Dylan.
Before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to Dylan, who was just here, for helping to get this stream set up, and to Margaret, who is going to be on the CNE Games account, monitoring the chat and collecting your questions. So if you want to put a hashtag question in your questions, you can grab that and put that in our question doc. That's a lot of questions.
This is what this is for, right?
Yeah,
Questions.
totally. So you might be wondering what's happening here. So starting today, obviously, we'll be doing a weekly live stream on our CNE Games Twitch channel. But this will also be in addition to our Reddit Q&A weekly. So don't worry, that one's still there. You can still read questions. This stream is going to be an experiment, so we're looking for your feedback on what you'd like to see us do with it. And yeah, I guess for now, this plan is just to have Kat sketch some fun things. Today she'll be sketching Chow Long. There's so many ways to pronounce that. It was so hard to find the right pronunciation.
I always thought it was Zhao Long, so we're white, sorry.
Well, the fun part was, like, I went to this one website and it had the Dutch people pronouncing it in their Dutch accent.
Yeah.
And then there was a whole bunch of English Australian and English UK, and okay, which one's the right one? You were supposed to vote on which one sounded proper, which makes no sense, because that's not really a good resource.
It's not helpful.
Yeah, so this will just be a fun sketch, and we'll post it after the stream, whatever finished state it is.
Yeah. Don't think the plan is really to make these big and polished. It's however it gets on the stream, that's as far as it gets.
Yeah, cool. So I will just switch to my question document so I can see the questions, and then Kat has control of the mouse.
Okay.
So looks like the first one is from Landrew1492. The Sagaven plushie is so very cute. Oh. Can I get one? Also, by the way, what is a Sagaven?
Sagaven was a little monster that I made when I wrote Amusement Park of Doom, like a couple years ago now.
And that was just like a riff on amusement park mascots in general?
Yeah, I remember the name Sagaven was just for Saga Adventure Land, so it was like Saga Adventure Land. So he just became like the main focus in the story. The actual visual design, I think I just sort of made it myself, because I like designing monsters and stuff. So I tried to make him sort of cute, but then the like real Sagaven is a little more monstrous-y.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun monster from that campaign.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Unfortunately, there are no real-life plushies of him.
Yes, no, there's no plushies, and being a digital company, we don't really traffic in physical goods. I mean, the Idle Champions team have some dice to give out at conventions and some t-shirts, but... and we did try the Crusader 3D printing models, but those ones didn't go very well.
Yeah, they were also really expensive for, like, really tiny things, so...
Granted, that was years ago, so maybe 3D printing has improved a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. How nervous are we right now? Gee, I'm a little nervous, can you tell?
It's okay.
It'll get easier, I think.
Yeah. I mean, this is your first time on stream at all here, right? Besides Extra Life.
Besides Extra Life, hosting a stream is the first time ever.
Yeah.
And, Dylan interviewed me for the Idle Champions stream once, but that was...
Okay.
Interview, so I didn't have to really say too much. Back when he was learning all the champions and needed some champion advice for a Christmas stream.
I'm not nervous. surprisingly, because I've been on stream to draw quite a few times, and it's something I enjoy doing. Like, this is just what I do for the majority of the hours of my life. And then I just like chat and I don't know. I do get very anxious in like big crowds and stuff like that, but when it comes to streaming, because I can't see any real people, I don't have to think about all the people who are like paying attention. So I just like I chat with the person I'm with.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely wouldn't want to be hosting by myself.
Nah,
So
I'm here for you.
I was glad you were cool with that. Looks like Skig 6891. Do we have a plan for the end of Flash in 2020? Well, as we've said numerous times on the Reddit Q&A, the current plan is that it'll still be available through Steam because Adobe Air is not going anywhere, and we'll have our own downloadable launcher on the CNE Games website for you to download to your computer there, and otherwise we'll just see if there's any browsers that'll still run Flash after Flash is dead. It probably wouldn't be immediately gone from everywhere, I think.
Yeah. What is the actual date?
It's December 2020, but
Oh, okay.
it's either Chrome or Firefox that's going to require you to have a special version of their browser starting in January.
Okay.
So, we'll see. Everyone's still playing on the web right now. Our player numbers haven't gone down, so Flash is still alive. Green Samurai 23. Tell us about our plans for Crusaders in 2020. Any exciting new features? I have been trying to plan the year. I'm not sure what I can tease right now. I think I still need to run it by Kevin. Hopefully I think I can tease this at least. Hopefully we'll get to some more crafting system improvements and more talents, obviously. And we're gonna look into having objectives where you're not capped with DPS, just to see, so players can see what their real DPS is. I think I can safely say that. But no dates for any of this. It's still early yet.
Soon, TM.
Soon, TM.
And not even soon for some of it, probably.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Well, because there's 2 events in January, and
Yeah.
then the Valentine's event follows really close on the heels of
Right. Yeah.
the end of Carnage Cup. So once we
Plans.
get you back from Algerians.
Yeah. Plans are plans. They will happen in the future.
I guess you mentioned you're on the equipment for the Carnage Cup Crusader today, which means
I
you haven't
am.
started that skin yet. So,
I haven't.
Chat, do you have any ideas for a Carnage Cup skin you'd like to see? Which Crusader?
Yeah, any Crusader from the previous years of Carnage Cup. So that's Cindy and was it Carl, the kicker?
Yeah, Cindy and Carl, and then there's Grokluck and Driz could have skins too. And
Yeah.
then we were maybe thinking Drizzle, Grizz, wow. Narglog could have a skin, I guess, if he's useful now as a clicker.
I mean, any of them are totally viable. It's, we like to pick one that the community will actually like a Crusader that's actually used.
That's true.
So that's why we're asking for this event. None of them really stand out to us. So
I guess, Margaret, you can just toss those requests in the Crusaders channel on our internal chat. Or, could put them in the question doc. That's
yeah,
cool too.
I mean, we can discuss it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well-
If it affects anyone, the only one we were maybe thinking of was an undead Cindy. So if that sounds cool to you, we can just stick with that. But
I see Skig has followed up with his question about End of Flash. Yes, we will make it possible to transfer your account if it's no longer available on Armor Games and Kong and you haven't transferred before then. Because we do have account linking in the game right now. So you could future plan for yourself. Mr. 264. Any future plans with the Yogscast in Crusaders? If not, what are we going to do about the achievements we can't get anymore? So probably not going to partner with Yogscast again at this point for Crusaders. So we will definitely have to look into letting you get those achievements some other way. That's on the to-do list for 2020. Maybe just like reopen those variants, or because we do run one of the challenges on the Yogscast adventure, so maybe let you get the solo kill Shelda? Yeah. Shin solo kills Shelda on that boss area. So, yeah. Could at least do that one on the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Freakazoid 2K. Our account linking for Crusaders, it's like car keys. Well, that's the way we describe it in the FAQ, which is really cute. You generate the code from the game you want to save, and you paste that into the game you want to overwrite, and then that tells the game on the new place to always call your old account, so everything will be there. Everything is the same. You don't lose anything from linking your account. And if you did have any purchases go wonky when you linked it, just put in a support ticket, and I would fix you up as far as any missing purchases went. But that only would happen if you were overwriting an account that already had made purchases and the one you wanted to save hadn't purchased those. Looks like we're getting some suggestions. You're kind of right about Grizz and Cindy as the potential.
Anything interesting?
They did not say what they wanted Grizz and Cindy to look like.
That's fine.
They did say Groklock as human. That would...
Oh. Yeah, could be done. I mean, there are no limits creatively.
Yeah. So. Yeah, turn him into just another burly human football player.
Yeah.
And then Carl the kicker as a rugby player. So I guess give him a rugby stick? No. Wait, they don't do sticks. That's just balls.
Yeah,
rugby helmet. A different helmet.
A different helmet and a different uniform.
Yeah, a little less padding. A little dangerous, that rugby. And I see someone making a request because of tags. So Cindy as a dragon plant dwarf. Although,
you get one.
I think the missions are still missing more healers and gold finance support and non-binary. So I'm not sure where a dragon plant dwarf. Oh, the dual race. Yeah, there's still some dual race crusaders they need for missions to 100% them. Hey Susan, thanks for joining. That is Mom to 3 Reds. Her question is, so we're going to get twice a week fix of CNE Live. Yep, that's the plan. And as far if the stream does well, then we'll keep it up. It is experimental and things might change. Like we might actually show the game at some point if players really want to see the game.
Yeah, the experimental part extends to the layout as well.
But yeah, double dose, and at least for the stream, we should be saving the videos and uploading them to the CNE Games YouTube afterwards. So if you can't join live, you can always watch the VOD later as and treat it like a podcast. So right now you're making Chong look a little more large.
Not really doing much different. It's just my style as opposed to the game style. Which is not crazy different, really. I still draw fairly cartoony. Just generally a little more detailed, I guess. that I was thinking, especially since this is only taking me like 15 minutes, of adding a couple friends, because this is the pool party, right?
Yeah, it is.
So
Make it a party scene.
yeah, maybe Princess is riding. It's her party.
And apparently I left her off the party time objective, so...
Oh no!
Oops. Maybe I can get Kevin to add her, for those of you who haven't done that one yet.
Do you need the mouse?
Maybe.
Go ahead.
Looks like Green Samurai 23 asked about tier 6 talents. Well, we already have tier 6 talents in the game. I assume you mean tier 7? Yeah, we definitely plan to add more talents to all the existing tiers and to tier 7 talents themselves throughout the year. Mom to 3 reds. When do we get another campaign, or are we just going to get tier 4 on Madame Finkelbottoms? I mean, I would like to do another campaign just so we're at 10. But that's a lot of art, even if we reuse some.
As the only artist, a campaign is a big ask. Yeah. That doesn't mean it's impossible.
It doesn't mean it's impossible. Like, it would just be more like a Q4 thing at this point.
Yeah.
Especially if Champions is going to keep stealing you. But I was experimenting with some possible tier 5 versions of objectives on campaigns. And there will be other challenges, I think, added to the game at some point this year. So we'll just see. Skig asks, can we have an option where we can make enchantment points transferable to other Crusaders? Well, we already have that through the sharing is caring talent. Well, we have that through bench sharing and the sharing is caring talent. And some of the other newer Crusaders, like my call, care about the EP on Crusaders. So I'm not sure if we'd actually let you transfer EP, because you can get enough through missions that way. I would hope to add something to do with all the EP, because I know it's not a great bonus once you have enough to send 100% missions, other than just grinding it out. So maybe we can look into some way to use EP, but focusing on January at the moment. Total Max asks, when will we get different rewards from objectives other than rubies? You'd like something exciting? Well, I mean, that's basically the 11th objectives for all the campaigns. They come up with an exciting bonus. And rubies are kind of important for getting the chests and the skins and any taskmasters we add to the ruby store. But we can try to do some more exciting objective rewards, like we are giving away the skins in the 5th event objectives this year for the tier 5 events, which I hoped would be exciting. And I like the skins. The skins are awesome.
Thank you. I like them too.
Mr. Ah is asking about our weather again. So 12 Fahrenheit in the USA is kind of cold. So I think we're actually getting near 0 Celsius.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, apparently, we're supposed to have our cold snap.
Yeah. Very soon.
And because it's Vancouver Island, it's more rain than snow, but we might actually get some snow for 2020.
Yuck.
We did not have any for Christmas. Christmas was a nice green, wet, soggy Christmas.
Windy.
Yes, and some crazy windstorms. Luckily, living in Victoria, haven't experienced too many power outages because of wind.
That's good.
Yeah. It's been a nice change. X-Slade says, "Hi, Erica and Kat."
Hello.
Hello. What's the reasoning behind not letting Xiaolong be as powerful as Rena? We were trying to outpace Rena with him. Obviously, if you have Rena's amulet really high level, it's sadly not going to compete due to legendary scaling. But he is powerful if you don't have as high a legendary. And he could be useful on some objectives. And I mean, it's just, it's easier to increase the power than to nerf the power. So if we feel we need to increase his power, we still have some room to grow. And I mean, some of the players who just got Rena and just are getting her geared or haven't farmed enough materials to make high-level legendaries, you might see some use. SoftX says, speaking of rubies, any chance on having some early warning for when things are being added to the ruby shop? It wasn't fun to spend several weeks to save up enough for the new Taskmaster since I'd been using them to try for the rest of the skins. Well, we can try to give as much warning as possible. I mean, there were just recently objectives released that had ruby rewards, so I thought it was kind of safe to add stuff for rubies, and some players do still have huge ruby stashes somehow, so. But I also plan to hopefully add some more missions to get rubies and other ways to get rubies aside from objectives to make grinding rubies a little easier. DJ Casper asks, will the campaigns, World's Wake, and so on be getting tier 5 objectives? Yeah, I'd like to look into adding them, trying to figure out a way that makes sense to add them. Besides, like, some of the objectives, if we make them, like, super stupid hard, be, like, impossible to do, because I know for some of them we've, like, oh, you can only use 3 Crusaders, so do we take that down to 1 Crusader and make it extremely long, or do we experiment more with the difficulty compression like we're doing for the events, but players still walk through the event objectives even with the difficulty compression, so some way to make them fun but still challenging, so. Cassius asks, any chance of a pity timer on the jeweled chest skins? We weren't planning on adding one because you're constantly opening jeweled chests, but maybe. I mean, the base 20 Crusader skins don't do any powers, and we gave you the chance to buy the one you liked. Maybe we can add another token that lets you buy another one that you really like and really want. Or maybe if we ever did add powers to the skins, we might add a pity timer to the jewel chests for them. But it's not something we're currently planning.
It does seem a little late for that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Players got them all without the pity timer, and then some players are still working on getting them. We did, like, increase the odds. Like, it was pretty rare before, and then we did increase it a little bit, so it made it a little easier. Pastuso 5, do you have a plan to create a Crusader with abilities that last and tracked along all resets, like Zorbu and Idle Champions? We've discussed it a couple times. We just haven't been quite sure how we wanted to implement it. Was something that would make sense for Crusaders. Because at least in Idle Champions you have different monster types, so Zorbu has a reason to grudge and count things. And GSR, what about a Crusader bought only by Ruby's catalysts or challenge shop tokens? We have quite a lot of Crusaders. I'm not sure if we'd want to just design one to toss in a store. I mean, it's a possibility. If there was interest in it, maybe we would do it. I mean, I would kind of like to do more Crusaders in events at some point, but designing a Crusader is a lot of work, so it's hard to justify doing more than one or two at a time. JS random numbers. Please accidentally forgot to make a tier 5 version of Get Me Out of Here. Yeah, that's the other problem with looking into tier 5 objectives, is like some of them really don't have room for a tier 5.
Pokemons will be so much fun.
Yeah, I guess we could just not tier 5 them, like say they only go up to tier 4.
Or just change them more significantly. I don't know.
Yeah. X Gamers for Life. X. Huh. Probably shouldn't have read the X's. What do you think about having each slot in a formation have a support slot, and each Crusader having a support passive ability which is only active in that slot? Each slot in formation, so that's basically doubling your formation, which means crazy big numbers, which means harder content gets impossible. Probably not something we would be adding. Skig is back with another question. Can you add an option to put taskmasters on missions? They seem like they would also have unique tags. So you want us to have the taskmasters have personalities and backstories and tags? So
I mean, even the Crusaders don't have backstories. I think it's just as simple as, like, those mouse taskmasters are animals, and there's dragon ones, and that butler one would be really boring, just a human.
Yeah, but if you're just using him for the human tag, how do you get 100% on a mission? And what would happen to the EP if you sent a taskmaster on an EP mission?
Yeah, I think taskmasters were designed for what they do. They're not really meant to do other things.
Yeah.
They're kind of one-trick ponies.
Yeah, I think the taskmasters are one-trick ponies. Frey attack. Would it be possible to change the transition between areas so that it doesn't interfere with working on formations? Well, we already made it possible for you to change your saved formations during an area transition, and you can drag and drop and keep holding your Crusader when you're changing areas. You just can't see the formation slots anymore. But it doesn't actively drop your Crusader back to the bench and make you have to pick them up anymore. So it did get a lot easier to change your formations while you're speeding through stuff. CPO Ryu. What about a prestige system for Crusaders? I don't think that's something we're going to add. Just because what would the currency look like? And there's hundreds of objectives to replay if you had to start from scratch. And I just never felt that prestige systems and other idle games were any fun to me, but it's definitely not in the cards for right now. Who knows what'll happen as the game continues to evolve. Xlade, do you have any plans for a new sync for catalysts? I know of several people who have them stashed up in the thousands without any actual use at this point. Yeah, there are some players out there who manage to have a large stash. It's not everyone yet, but it is something on my to-do list to look into for 2020 if there's time to change up how legendary catalysts are used. I think I might need the mouse again.
Go right ahead.
Not the Photoshop. Total Max. What's the next new content that isn't event stuff? Well, events are new content. It's a whole new Crusader, whole new objectives. Carnage Cup, Valentine's. We might be able to sneak in an update at some point in between then and now. Depends on what Kevin can get done. I have a list of things, and I'm not sure which one will actually end up being finished. So, can't really spoil it yet. But we might get one in between Carnage Cup and Valentine's. GSR. What about a talent that increases bonus idols or a chance for bonus idols? I don't think we do anything to increase bonus boss idols anymore. They're pretty generous already, especially if you're getting really deep. But I know it's frustrating for some players that the runs vary so much because you're gotta get lucky because it's only a 40% chance a boss will drop it when you kill it. So that can make some really varied runs, and people like consistency. So we will look into making it a little more consistent somehow. I'm not sure if that would be a talent or something else, but yeah, it's definitely on the 2020 to-do list. Rafcio 39. When new talents? I don't really want to give dates.
Dates just make people angry.
Yeah, no, we definitely have new talents coming up this year. Yeah. Sorry, can't really give a date at this point. Mr. asks any plans for merchandising Crusaders, i.e. plushies or keychains. Like I said earlier on the stream, we're a digital company and physical merch is hard, and we've tried it for Crusaders and it didn't work. So it's unlikely at this point we'll have any merch for the game. Sorry. Yuki the Snowman. Suggestion question. Can you make Xiaolong's River Guardian water more visible? Otherwise it's known as a dark blue or a different color. I mean, yeah, I did notice they were a little hard to see, especially once I had a full formation and the DPS numbers were covering the Crusader feet. I mean, the dream would be we have a toggle to hide the DPS numbers. That would help a little bit. I guess we could look into a different color.
Yeah, if just a color difference would help, like, that's not hard for me to change. See, when I create the graphic, I don't really get to see what it looks like in game. And sometimes Kevin will show me the screenshots and sometimes he forgets, and that's fine. But, yeah, so I'm actually not aware how it turned out, so I can take a look.
I think maybe if we could try to make it a little bigger, too, because it gets really hidden by some of the larger Crusaders.
Right.
But we can look. We can definitely look into that.
For sure.
If you want to make a note, Margaret. Green Samurai 23. Question for Kat. Which do you prefer working on, Idle Champions or Crusaders? No hard feelings either way.
I do prefer Idle Champions. I really like the D&D community. Yeah. It's also, like, the actual visual drawing style I like more because it's more, slightly more realistic and more detailed, which, again, is closer to my sort of style. And honestly, a lot of the, like, humor and stuff in Crusaders is not really my cup of tea. That said, I've been enjoying working on Crusaders since I became lead again a lot more than I thought I would, which I think is a lot down to
Not just drawing gear.
Not just drawing gear, but having more control over like what the characters are. It's been pretty cool that you and Kevin are basically like, yeah, you can make whatever you want as long as it's basically thematic. So when did I come back? Like March or something? May?
March.
March, yeah. So definitely
almost a year.
yeah, time.
Oh yeah, time.
But definitely since the twins in September, I've been basically the helm of design for the new Crusaders, and I like them all quite a bit. Like people were pretty into the Evanescent, which I was super happy about because
He's pretty spooky.
they are my favorite.
Yes,
monsters and spooky things. Yeah, that's a big thing for me, just personally.
Soft decks. I just on the Q&A a few months ago, but what about having a few variant challenges and missions that would be themed for the events, such as the same basic setup as the normal challenges, just on the event objective area and renamed, redescribed missions that could be tied into them, such as a Christmas, Easter, Halloween, or the like, for descriptions for it. Well, renaming missions. Oof. That would be a ton of work because we have 16 events, 16, 17, a lot of events. So that's a lot of extra flavor text. I would rather spend that time making new missions than just worrying about renaming old ones.
Yeah, we don't have a writer, really.
Yeah.
We all just sort of take turns coming up with random stuff, depending on what it's for.
But I mean, maybe we can try to sync up the challenges a little bit with the events, but that also seems like some extra unnecessary work. Because then that throws off your challenge rotation. Or it would be a challenge you didn't like that week, on top of all the event stuff to do. It's a cute idea, though. D-Tape 46.7. Who is each of your favorite Crusader by abilities and then just by look? I think my new favorite by look would have to be the Evanescent, because it's awesome.
Thank you.
By abilities, I mean, I am really attached to Rena because I was really happy she went over well as a DPS Crusader, albeit a little powerful. But I thought that was a cool way to incentivize getting legendary items on the Crusaders in your formation, and she's just badass.
Visual-wise, I think also with the Evanescent for me. Abilities, though, I don't actually play Crusaders, full disclosure. So I don't really know what most of the new ones do. Like, I sort of peek into the forums and stuff and see that people were like, oh man, the twins are really cool, but I don't actually know why. So I'm actually, I think I would say Karen.
Yeah, it's still a fun power.
Yeah. I've always just had a soft spot for her also because she was one of the first ones that I designed when I was first on Crusaders years ago.
Cassius is musing what RPG rules would fit Crusaders.
Most of them.
Most of them. I think you could definitely get away with a cool fiasco system. And, I mean, just having the fate system with the Jenga tower would be cool. Because, you know, chaotic Crusaders. But, yeah, I'm sure you could run a campaign in any style. Well, I guess maybe not the ones where you need more backstory for the Crusaders, but I'm sure if you're borrowing Crusader ideas for a RPG system, you're making up the backstory for them. Skig asks, can you add an in-game library to see old gear cards? Because when you upgrade to Legendary, you can't see them anymore. Yeah, that is kind of sad. Because some of those gears are pretty cool. it's something I would like to kind of do if it's possible. But if there's any value in doing that over, say, new talents, I'd probably have to lean more towards doing talents instead of the collection system. But, I mean, it's a possibility. Eddie Ghost asks, will there be more achievements on Steam? We only add achievements to Steam if we're adding a new Tier 1 campaign stuff, just because we felt like that's a lot of game to play. And, I mean, having achievements for all the tiers of objectives would be a lot of Steam achievements. A lot. And we just want players to play the game for itself and not just be Steam achievement hunters passing by, coming to grind out their 100% and leaving. So, probably not unless we add another campaign with Tier 1 objectives. Is that Bernard? Or is that just random dude?
Oh, this
Yeah.
is gonna be Princess.
Oh, that one's Princess.
Yeah.
Right, with her new badass hairstyle.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, what did I do? It's more like a pixie cut, sort of.
Right.
That's the benefit of having Xiaolong on the layout. I could actually look at him, and now Princess, I have to think with my brain.
Group shot for next week. No. Oh, what are we going to draw next week? Cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. You know, one of the things sort of suggested to use these little sketch times as sort of sneak peeks of things. And this time, just because it's the first one and, you know, we were still kind of preparing everything, it just was easiest to go with Xiaolong because they were just released. But, you know, maybe next week it'll be the Crusader for Carnage Cup.
Yeah, could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, could do a hint sketch. Yeah.
Or
different costume.
Feel free to suggest things.
Yeah.
I can draw whatever.
Part
As long as it's Crusaders related.
Yeah. Total Max asks, will abilities on the ability bar see a rework? We weren't planning on any, like, total overhauls to what they actually do. Was there a specific ability that you'd like to see changed? I guess while we're waiting for chat to catch up. So yeah, Princess Pool Party just started yesterday, and it goes for the 11 days and hours, so it'll end on Tuesday, January 21st, I guess. So lots of time to complete it, if you haven't. He followed up with Royal Command must be the least used. Probably true, given that players are really focused on speed these days and they don't really need to stop the monsters from hurting their formation. We can think about looking at it in the future. CPO Rio, does Trixiel So that's Trixie's angel form. Resembles some ancient from clicker heroes, or is that just coincidence? That would be coincidence, right?
Yeah.
Because you were just going on that style of angel.
Yeah, it's Old Testament wheels and eyes and wings. Yeah. I don't play clear heroes.
It's definitely a popular style of art to do.
Oh, yeah.
As far as ancient beings go.
For sure.
Yeah. Cassius asks, on the subject of achievements, some sort of additional badge for Crusaders Hong Kong would be nice. We probably won't add any more badges on Kong just because of the way, the badge system works for developers. It's, it's... If you're a Kong developer, you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, we won't be adding any more badges. Rayan1888, Cat. I loved your Extra Life artwork.
Thank you.
Is it going to stay in the office or possibly get auctioned for more charity benefit? Well, you did that digitally, right?
It is digital, so it could have 1 million prints or 0. Well, I'm not sure how much I can say about it, but I am trying to work with Clive, our marketing director, to figure out a way to get posters available. I guess that's the best way to put it. Yeah, because the file is basically print ready, and know that people want it, which is super cool. So hopefully, yes, there will be a way, even if it's like
through your own personal means.
Yeah, we supply the PDF and you can download it and then go get it printed at Staples or something, or at home, though I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. It's quite big. It wouldn't fit most generic printers unless you just wanted a really tiny version, which is like whatever you do you. Yeah, so nothing official to say, but it is it's a plan. Yeah.
Oh boy. Skig is asking if you're going to follow up with a colored version.
Nope.
Because that's pretty impressive already, and it is shaded at least, right?
I did shade it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I said specifically on the stream, it is not going to be colored. I don't like coloring, particularly, for one thing. And it just, way too much work. A lot of people didn't give me...
colors anyway?
Yeah. Like, some people gave me real reference, which is great, and some people just gave me text reference, which is also fine for what it is. But it does mean that, I would have to either reach out to them more or make it up, and I don't want to. It was all for charity. I spent many hours on it already. It's done, and I'm done.
And that you said that was going to be even rougher than like a normal sketch, right?
I did, and then it wasn't, so I can't follow my own rules. Yeah, it's done, and I'm quite happy with it, honestly. I think it looks better than last year's.
Definitely not being in a tavern and having the entire forest to work with gave it a little more space to breathe.
Yeah, the forest was fun too. I like organic backgrounds a lot more than having to work with perspective.
So you're glad you're not doing bushwhacker art with perspective.
Oh, God. The very first bushwhacker item I did was a washing machine. And like a ranch item.
Yeah.
And I did it in perspective, and then Adam came back and was like, the game is technically like, I forget what it's called exactly, but where the front is like, so I did it like this, where it was perspective downward.
Right.
And it actually is just straight on.
Right.
So bushwhacker specifically is a weird type of perspective that I'm not even used to. So...
Metal Bite is wondering if there's a place online they can see the Extra Life image. You shared it on your Twitter, right?
It is on my Twitter. It's also on my Tumblr, because Tumblr has a bit better
sharing
image stuff.
Yeah.
Which are both at TheArtMonkey, TheArtMonkey. That's me. I post my art online whenever I do it, basically. This will also be posted on my account as well as the CNE accounts. Yeah.
CPO Rio asks, as Kat is currently drawing the princess, what about an angel skin for her at some point in your own art style? And maybe you can just add wings to the princess right now?
Mayhaps. Not in my style, just because, that's... I mean, the game already... Style.
Well, you're making the style.
Yeah, I have basically made the style my own. It's just simplified, which is necessary to get stuff done in a timely fashion. Mm-hmm. So.
I think I need to steal the mouse again.
Go ahead.
Skig is asking, Kat, are you currently drawing a future princess skin? This would be one crazy skin.
If you just mean princess in a bathing suit, I mean, could happen. But not in the plans, necessarily.
Total Max is asking, new challenges coming. Tier 2 and Tier 3 versions would be an easy design. How about
says you.
using same slot Crusaders, but only slot 1 to 5 and only speedsters? Well, the challenges that let you use speedsters, I'm imagining most players already do only speedsters on it, so there's not really any reason to have a challenge on its own, just using them. Using multiple Crusaders from the same slot, I don't think that's anything that's ever going to happen. That seems like it could get complicated.
It's kind of part of the whole balance of the game,
Yeah, 1 per slot. Although we've branched out from having gold locked into Kane's slot, and other slots have had different powers as we've expanded the bench enormously. But we can look into adding more challenge objectives, give it more to cycle through, although I think you're only seeing them once a year at this point anyway. Maybe some of them twice a year, because we have that many challenges and it's only weekly. Zandix MT re-asking an old question. Do you plan to enable the ability to cast multiple buffs at once? I agree that would be a good quality of life feature to have. I'm not sure how we would go about doing it, but I think it's something on my to-do list for 2020 to think about adding to the game in some fashion. D-Tape 467, are we going to get a female Crusader in Kane's slot?
Are there none?
I guess there aren't.
Oh.
Kane, Mr. Monkey, Bernard, Larry the Leprechaun. Is that a 4 or a 5-seater? Yeah, it looks like they're all male so far.
Interesting.
I mean, we might revisit an earlier bench slot. But if it only has 4 Crusaders on it, I'm sure we could go back and add a female Crusader, but if it's at 5 already, we probably won't. Cassius, while we're talking Extra Life, I loved it a few years back when we got the opportunity to add ourselves to Crusaders for charity. We'll be doing that again at some point. That was fun, I agree. It was kind of nightmare on our end getting it finished. Well, I mean, you did your monsters quick.
Yeah.
And Adam took a while to do his.
Well, because he was kind of moved on at that point. Yeah. It was hard to,
Yeah. He was already spinning up Idle Champions art.
Yeah. As the director of the art, he is quite busy. I don't know. I personally moved on my donation incentive to the big D&D-ish group picture thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if we were spinning up a new campaign, we could think about it, but... that's the turnaround. It definitely wouldn't be fulfilled in December.
No.
After the Extra Life, it would
No.
take a few months to get anybody's monsters done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'll have a last call for questions because it's almost 11. Wow.
See, time flies.
Time does fly. So I'll give Margaret a chance to get any more questions from chat, and then we can wrap it up. I guess that's Princess Val in the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was gonna be, but I got too ambitious. The sketch was so fast, and then I was like, hey, I can actually do lines, and oh, no, wait. It's fine. There are no rules that don't say that I couldn't just, like, do this at home this weekend.
That's true.
But don't get your hopes up either.
Yeah, because you probably want to do your personal art projects.
Yeah.
Or play D&D.
I've been working on doing more of my own personal art, and have been successful about it this week, so want to keep working on the thing that I've got going at home.
Leptimus brings up a good point. Maybe we could just do a skin for one of the Crusaders on Kane's slot to make them a female.
Maybe that's honestly the thing that I've thought about quite a bit, as a person who likes to add diversity and inclusion to the LGBT community. You know, the idea of, say, gender fluid or transgender individuals, I think would be really great to add to the game. But I'm just not sure that a skin is the best way to do it. So I don't know. I probably overcomplicate it more than it really needs to be. But I'm not sure that that's something that's going to happen.
Well, because if you do think about it, it's like, I can just change on a whim.
Yeah. And, like, there are gender fluid individuals which do essentially do that.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It's an ideological tightrope to walk for me, I guess. I take that kind of stuff very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just do a female Crusader on that slot if it fits. Figure out things in different ways in a more natural way to add it for representation.
Yeah. I have an idea. We'll see if it can happen for the tech, but I think it would be cool.
Skig, we'll be posting, well, as finished as this gets, because I would like Kat to actually do the Carnage Cup art, you know. She'll bring this to a point, and then this image will be shared, for sure.
Yeah, as soon as we're off stream, I have to go back to doing art for the game. So I'm doing my best.
So, yeah, I think I feel good about wrapping up episode 1 of the Crusaders live stream. Oh my gosh. So this experiment will continue a little while.
The top half is done.
Yeah. We'll continue this experiment a little while. I'm not sure who's going to be moderating next week because Margaret's off at PAX South for representing Idol Champions. So it might be Dylan, it might be Clive, it might be on the fly. That would be awkward.
I'm sure we'll find somebody.
I'm sure we'll tap somebody. So before we go, just another big shout out to Margaret for helping to do the chat and the question gathering, and Dylan for getting this set up, and Adam for taking an artist touch to the overlay for Erica and cat names, I think is the only thing he changed. And thanks to you guys for coming out and watching, and let us know your feedback on the stream, I guess. I'll see you in Tuesday's Q&A on the Reddit. If you want to leave it there, you can leave it on any of the social posts if you had it. Or if there's any chat feedback Margaret captured into our internal chat. Bye.
Bye-bye.